My fiancée said she needed space until summer was over, so I drafted a legal agreement. She laughed until I canceled the wedding, returned the ring, and walked away for good. I'm not sure how I feel sharing this, but maybe some outside perspective will help. My name's Ethan, 32M, and I've been with my fiancée Lauren, 30F, for about 4 years. We met through mutual friends in Chicago, both of us working crazy hours back then, me in finance, her in marketing. We hit it off fast. The kind of relationship where weekends flew by and every little thing became an us thing. We moved in together after about a year, adopted a dog, Cooper, our golden retriever, and last year, I proposed. She said yes through tears, in the exact way you dream of. The wedding was set for late September, early fall colors, outdoor ceremony, small vineyard venue in Michigan. Everything was planned and paid for, down to the last napkin fold. But then came late May. Just as summer was creeping in, Lauren dropped a bomb. We were having dinner like usual, nothing weird in the air, and she looked over at me with this nervous energy. She started with, "I've been thinking about something," followed by, "I don't want to hurt you, but I need to be honest." My stomach turned. I asked what was wrong, and she said she felt like she needed space before the wedding. That this summer felt heavy, and she wanted to take a break. No communication, no pressure, just a few months to breathe. I just sat there, stunned. For months from the wedding. After all we'd planned and built. "Is there someone else?" I asked immediately. No, God, no, she said. "I just want time to figure things out. I'm overwhelmed. Work's been intense. The wedding planning, my mom's health stuff, it's all a lot." I wanted to believe her. I really did. And I've always been the type to respect personal space. But the timing? The vagueness? It didn't sit right. She wasn't calling off the wedding, just putting it on pause until summer was over. We'd reconnect in September and see how things felt. My gut told me there was more to it. But I kept my composure and said, "Okay, if space is what you need, I'll give it to you." She looked relieved. Almost too relieved. We had a long talk that night about logistics. She was going to stay with her sister, and I'd keep Cooper. She said she'd reach out before September to talk. Then she packed a few bags the next morning, kissed me on the cheek, and left like it was some trial separation on a reality show. The weird thing? She seemed excited. Like summer break had just started. No tears, no second thoughts. That's when my mind started spinning. What kind of person asks for space 3 months before marrying someone? What do you even do on a break like that? A week later, I started seeing her tagged in beach photos on Instagram with college friends. Boat rides, bar crawls, late-night girls-only stories. She had set her page to private after the second week. That told me enough. I didn't want to become paranoid, but I also wasn't stupid. I called my best friend Jake and asked him straight up, "Does this sound like someone who's coming back to marry me?" He was blunt. "Sounds like she wants a summer without commitment, man. You sure you're okay with that?" I wasn't. So I decided to take a different route. Not confrontational, just clear. That's when I reached out to a friend of mine who's a lawyer and said, "Can you help me draft something simple? Like a formal document outlining what this break means and what happens if either party crosses the line." Nothing aggressive, just accountability. What happened after I sent it to Lauren changed everything. Would you have agreed to a break like this? What would you do in Ethan's position? I kept it simple. The document was just 2 pages, nothing intense. I didn't want to make it feel like a lawsuit, just something honest and clear that matched what she said she wanted. The core points were, no romantic involvement with anyone else during the break. If either party broke this, the wedding would be considered officially canceled. No major financial withdrawals from our joint wedding fund. Open communication in September, with the understanding that if either party decided not to continue, the other had the right to walk away without legal or emotional obligation. If we did break up, the ring would be returned, and wedding expenses already paid would be split fairly. I emailed it to her with a short message. "Hey Lauren, just wanted to put a few things in writing so we both feel secure during this break. Let me know if you have any questions. I care about you, and this is just to keep things clean and honest." She didn't reply that night, or the next. Then, 2 days later, I got a text, not even a call. "Ethan, I'm honestly shocked you would send something like that. This makes it feel like a business deal. I needed space to think, not a contract. I don't even know how to respond to this." I sat with that for a while, rereading it. Shocked. Over a document that simply reflected what she said she wanted, I texted back, "If the idea of boundaries and mutual respect is offensive to you, then maybe this break wasn't really about reflection. I'm just trying to protect us both. If you're serious about us, this shouldn't be scary." She didn't answer. Again, over the next week, she went quiet. No calls, no texts, just more photos on social media, boozy brunches, lake house parties, and a few too many pictures with a guy she used to talk about from her college days, Ryan. They used to date back in the day. Nothing serious, she told me once. He was immature and flaky. But here he was, smiling next to her in one group photo, then again in a photo that felt too cozy. Her hand was on his shoulder, his arm around her waist, a sunset behind them. I didn't confront her. I just saved the photo. Then I called my lawyer friend again and said, I think I'm going to need that cancellation clause sooner than I thought. 2 more weeks passed. No reply to my agreement. Not even a counteroffer. Then finally, she called. Her voice was softer than usual. Measured. Ethan, I didn't think you'd take the break this way. I just needed time. But this legal stuff, the way you're treating it, it's like you don't trust me. I said, Lauren, I wanted to trust you. I still do. But the break wasn't about self-reflection for you. It was a summer off from the relationship, with all the fun and none of the commitment. And now that I've put actual limits on it, you're not interested anymore. That says everything. There was a pause. A long one. So what are you saying? I said, unless you're willing to sign that agreement and be honest with me about what this break really is, I think we need to cancel the wedding. She didn't say anything, just hung up. A few hours later, I got a message from her sister. I don't know what's going on between you two, but Lauren's crying, saying you don't trust her. Can't you just talk it out without the legal crap? Talk it out? After 3 weeks of partying, ignoring me, and ducking a simple agreement? That was the moment I knew. She wasn't crying over losing me. She was crying because I wasn't playing the role she expected. The doormat, the quiet groom waiting at the altar while she figured herself out. I still hadn't canceled the wedding officially. Not yet. But the silence between us had changed. It wasn't space anymore. It was a void. What do you think? Was the legal agreement too much? Or was Ethan right to set clear boundaries? I didn't cancel the wedding the next day. Not even the day after that. Call it hope. Or maybe denial. But a part of me still wanted her to come back, apologize, say this was all a huge mistake, and that she loved me more than a summer fling with freedom. Instead, what I got was a call from our venue coordinator. Hi, Ethan. I just wanted to confirm whether you or Lauren had requested a reschedule for the September 28th date. We received an inquiry from someone claiming to be part of your party. I was confused. No, I didn't request anything. What did they say exactly? She paused. It was a woman who said the wedding might be pushed to next spring, but she wasn't sure yet. Just said she was exploring options. I knew it wasn't anyone on my side of the guest list. So I checked in with Lauren's mom, who I'm still on good terms with, and she was just as surprised. You're still getting married in September, right? That's when I realized. Lauren had already started to dismantle our plans, quietly, behind my back. She hadn't signed the agreement. She hadn't called to apologize. But she had started to flirt with the idea of delaying or canceling our wedding without even telling me. I finally sat down, took a breath, and emailed her. Lauren, I've tried to handle this with grace. I gave you space. I gave you trust, and I tried to protect us both with something clear and fair. You walked away from all of it. I've seen the photos, I've heard from the venue, and I think we both know you've already made your decision. You just didn't want to be the one to say it out loud. So I will. The wedding is canceled. You can keep the summer. I'll keep my dignity. I hit send. No shaky hands. No tears. Just quiet. I canceled the venue, called the caterer, and even refunded the photographer's deposit. It hurt. God, it hurt. But it was also freeing. She finally texted the next morning. I can't believe you're throwing all of this away without even talking to me first. I didn't reply. What more was there to say? But she didn't stop there. She showed up at my apartment 2 days later. No warning. She was crying again, but this time it felt performative. Like she needed closure more than she actually wanted me back. I was scared, she admitted. I wanted to feel something before I got married. Maybe that was wrong, but I wasn't with anyone, I swear. I asked her point blank, did you sleep with Ryan? She hesitated. That's when I stood up, walked to the door, and opened it. I deserve someone who doesn't need a break to know I'm the one. She didn't argue. She just left. It's been 2 months. I've been seeing a therapist, hitting the gym again, and even joined a hiking group. Cooper's still by my side, tail wagging like I didn't just walk out of a 4-year relationship. Sometimes people think closure comes from a final conversation, but I think real closure comes when the truth finally outweighs the hope. I've started dating again, cautiously. I'm still healing, but I'm also proud of myself for not begging, for not compromising my worth, and for trusting my instincts. Was I too harsh? Was the contract overkill, or the only way to see her true intentions? Would love your thoughts. I appreciate you watching till the end. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more content.